Hey, what's up? Welcome back or welcome to my channel. I'm Emanuela, and today I'm gonna be doing some hot takes and sharing my opinion. Yeah. Okay, first one: bodybuilders are healthy. In my personal opinion, it depends. Healthy. I say yes. I feel like it's healthy, but to the extreme. You know how everything has like the extreme end of everything. It's like if bodybuilders are healthy, it's like this end is like if this is healthy, this is bodybuilders, and if this is unhealthy, this is morbidly obese people. With like diabetes and shit. And there's such thing as too healthy. I feel like it's a little too healthy, but it's like, hey. But then it's like, can you always be too healthy? Like, what does that even mean? 101 on clock, But whatever works for them, as long as it's not in a way of like hatred or like it's like something you generally enjoy. You're not, forcing yourself, and it's something that you enjoy to do from your heart, that you aspire to do, then do it. But if it's in a thing of like a disorder or like self-hate and whatnot, yeah, that's unhealthy. I think the thing that makes it healthy or unhealthy is the mindset that you go into it, because it's like bodybuilding is bodybuilding. This person could be, there's two bodybuilders. This one could have a positive outlook to why they're bodybuilding, etc., and for growth, and I would consider it healthy. But the next bodybuilder, they might look like the next bodybuilder might have a negative outlook and mindset towards it and themselves, and I would say that it's unhealthy. Yet, just looking at them face value, they're both two bodybuilders. It's like there's duality within everything, and it's not healthy itself to label something as healthy overall or unhealthy overall. It's the mindset that you go into it, because then that's like, okay, if your mindset's positive with it, your body is more relaxed and wants to do it. But if it's not positive with this, like, you could really hurt yourself in the future. Continue on. This was a little hot. Hot takes, right? A corrupt government is better than no government. I don't know how much I can say here, but in my personal opinion, because a corrupt government is already infiltrated. What's within it it's fucked up, I'm thinking about like currently in society, and your government is better than a corrupt government, in my opinion. Because a corrupt government is like, morally, we're just standing by and seeing them corrupt, And it's like, if there is none, okay, we could build something up again, because it's like, as a society, as human beings, we generally build community. We like a sense of structure within every single individual. There's some sense of structure that needs to be had. It's like how in nature there's some sort of structure, but it flows together, That's what I feel like our government or our system should be. But instead, it's just structure, and structure only, and the stuff around it, like the hurt that goes on within that structure, is ignored now, And that's what makes it corrupt, because it's like everything is within how you see it. Everything is within how you do it. And once you start ignoring the hurt of your citizens and other humans, that's where it's corrupt. And it's like, well, at this point, just overtake it, because as a society, we've seen it for centuries of years. People think that taking down corrupt government means that we'll just have no government for the rest of our lives. and it's just chaos. It might be a little chaos at first, depending how it's done, etc., how it's communicated to the public. But we've seen for centuries on end, you know, we as humans have been able to come together and figure out a system, whether it's an individual or a couple of us or the whole lot of us. You know, there's always been some sort of system, and there's like in any civilization, any race, any tribe, there's always been some form of system, whether that be oligarchy, patriarchy, kings, queens, freaking voting, freaking tally up, freaking humanitarian, whatever it may be, 5 at 5 on the clock. There's always been a system in place, a new idea, something that's in place. Society cannot really function for real without a system. But taking down our corrupt government doesn't mean that there's no longer a system. Taking down the corrupt government is just that. Taking down the corrupt government. Like, I don't know why we want to complicate things so much. Are you excusing why we shouldn't, even though we see the direct effects and harm that is being done? Because in my opinion, that's pretty cowardly. Seeing somebody doing wrong and still looking at it and turning a blind eye, in fear of seeing the opposite end of that and it possibly going good or bad. Like, what? You never know until you try. But not trying at all means that you're accepting this. And I don't accept it. Take that as you would. Take that as you will. So what I said. Fine art is worth the money people pay for it. Yeah. I mean, it's like at the end of the day, anything can have worth in a different place. You know, like water here could be $5, over there is like 10, and the other place is like $1. You know, so it's like if it got to that place of being called fine art and people are willing to pay the money for it, then do it. You know, I feel like art is one of those things. Like if we're talking about like actual portraits, like fine art or art in general is one of those things that's like you can put any price to it. But the true price is how the maker felt about it and how the person purchasing it feels about it, you know? Because it's like, for one portrait, I love duality so much. Oh my gosh, every single situation, I keep speaking up on duality. But duality is so real. Situations with duality. But it's like, there could be a very beautiful drawing, you know, and one person looks at it and it reminds them of their dead mother. It reminds them of their dead mother, and they are willing to pay $5,000 for it, you know. The next person could look at that exact same picture and say, this is some dog poop, and wouldn't even spend $5 on it, you know, and say that ain't no fine art. But to the other person, it was. It was like, yo, this captures so many different emotions, you know. And it's like every single artist that creates art can arguably say that, yo, my piece is fine art. Because it's the emotion, it's what you put with it. For me, fine art really is the mindset and the emotion. Because it's like, if an author just like slaps something, you know, does the little thing and puts $300,000 on it, that's like, but did you feel something? You know, it's like what takes it from art to fine art is the emotion behind it, for sure. It's like, as long as the artists behind that art, that fine art, put a piece of themselves within it, it has a story behind it, then yeah, it's fine art, you know, yeah. But if it was just let me splatter this paint, let me stomp here, let me do that, I don't know, that's really fine art. But again, arguably, every artist can say that they have fine art. So I'm gonna leave that as is, you know. Because anything further, I feel like that would be kind of judgmental. Like, I'm not thinking from my part, but like somebody else, like having this conversation, the opposing argument to what I just said would be like from a judgmental point of view. Because what are you trying to say? Are it's just ugly to be ugly? Like, that's very broad. And one thing about me, I do not like broad terms. You know, if you're gonna look at something, let's look at it for what it is. Let's dissect it. Let's not put it all underneath one umbrella, one blanket, because that is very limited. I don't know about you, but I am a limitless girl, and everything I look at and give my attention to is limitless. So let's keep it pushing. There shouldn't be a 2-term limit for presidents. I think the 2-term limit for presidents is all right. Because 8 more years, like, 8 years is a lot of time. Like, if anything, if that person is like so good and like did like amazing stuff, I'd say add 2 more years, like make it 10. And I'm thinking from a logical perspective, okay? It's like overall everybody likes them. They've done all the good things economically, socially, financially, like all the things, politically, all of it, and they like him so much. And they're like, why you? And you're like, who else would like come and like they could fuck all this up, I say give 2 more years, and within those 2 years, last 2 years, no more after that, because 10 years is a decade. And being in office for anything for more than a decade is kind of, especially that high of a place, it's like, But those 2 years, spend it, like, continue, taking care of the country. It's like, if you were a good president for those 8 years, it shouldn't be too hard, to multitask. For those 2 years, as you're doing your president duties, look for a successor. I agree with that. Look for a successor. Look for someone, and not from personal knowing of the person or da-da-da. Generally, look for someone, because that's like, people love you that much, and you've been in office for 8 years. You bound to have a bunch of money, It's like you have the resources to find someone on this country that would be a good suit that you click with. That would be a good suit for the next presidency. And if anything, if they're not, and you're like, you can continue coaching them, because that's 2 years for someone to prepare to be a president. It's like, but it's like you can coach them, show them your ways, give them a little advice, build that relationship. 365 times 2, that's a lot of time to build a relationship, my guy. So that's 770 days. So yeah, that's my theory. But the 2-term thing is good. I like that. I like the maximum. Well, damn. There shouldn't be 2-term limits for presidents. There should be, and honestly, add 2 more if anything. Not 2 more terms, but 2 more years. No more than 10 though, because that's a bore. Now, last one. There should be a maximum age for when you can run for president. I feel like that's a no-brainer. That's a yes from me. Yet in the same sentence, there should be a maximum age for every seat within the government. 14 on the clock. Some people are gonna get mad at this, but no, let's talk about it. There should be a maximum age for every seat within the government, including parliament and legislative and senate, executive and judicial. Everyone of them, all y'all niggas, because people being in office until they die sounds like absurdity and greed to me. I don't know about y'all, but that sounds like a little bit of gluttony and greed for power. And it's like, what makes me think that? It'd be one thing if they're just, they're like, the elders and whatnot. But we clearly see by the decisions that are made around this globe by them, it can't be for us because it's not a peace of tranquility. They're not really trying to fix some stuff, they're just continue to put money in their pockets, and it's showing just the way that countries in the earth is looking and the amount of death that is going on, and we're at the opposite side of it. I think it's pretty safe to say that it's pretty gluttonous and greedy. Especially since it's been damn near 3 generations. Times have changed, and as someone that grows older and is in a different generation, it's like perceptions and norms change as well. How things were 100 years ago, 200 years ago were not the same. Thank God, things change constantly, every single day. And it's like, unless those people are constantly keeping up to date and up to terms with the changes that are happening around and understanding the youth in the middle age, I don't think it's fair to have them still at the top. Because it shouldn't be an at the top type of thing. It should be a what is best for the people, what is best for our country type of thing. But instead, people stay in office for 50, 60 plus years until they die. That's not fair. If we're talking about fairness, that's not fair. That's not fair because there are so many minds and individuals on this earth. There are too many individuals and minds on this earth for there only to be the same 10 people in office for over 7 decades. It don't sound fair. Things change, and that includes you too. Let's keep it pushing now. So I do believe that there should be a maximum age limit, but for every single thing. And to make it even easier, why not let's just put it all at the same age? And it's like, okay, if let's say they just like 65. I think 65, sure, because people changing it too drastically to like 45 or some shit. 45 is not even old, so I feel like 65, 70. 65 is a really good number. 65 or 69. That's 65 years in office for every single seat within the government. And that should be I truly believe that should be the limit, That's a good amount of time. And it's like, okay, if you are still in the seat, it's been 65 years. That's 65 years old, I'm saying. And you've been doing good, and you generally still love this, and you generally still want to help, you can very much still be in the background, not even in the background, but you already have that notoriety. It's like, and you probably do have an influence within what you say and whatnot. You can be an advisor, if anything. And I don't know about y'all, but that sounds pretty logical to me. And then a new person can come in like 30 or 25. I say 25 because 20-year-old going for a president or office like that, it's like 25 to 65 I feel like it should be the age limit for all government officials, for all government seats, truthfully. And again, I say if they get to that age and they've been doing a good job and they still want to be within it, they can be an advisor. And that continues growing community, being innovative, changing, and bringing new minds to the platform, And it's like 30 ain't even young. 30 ain't even that old. Like 30 is literally right there. They see the young people. They see the old people too. It's like we can do something with that. And match at 45, you can be 55. You be 25. It could be a real young person that really got some knowledge and wisdom up in there that could really change some shit together for real. But having these people in office until they die erases the possibility of that chance. And that's the cold truth. It really erases the possibility of that chance. It erases the possibility of growth, of knowledge. It erases it. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be in a... you know what? I say I don't want to be, but we're here, right? I don't like being part of a society that is okay with staying the same after seeing that it is of no benefit to the people. I'm not saying who's a benefit to, but I'm speaking for the people. It is not no benefit of me. Not no benefit of my money. No. So I'm gonna let y'all guess who is really benefiting. But that's my little 2 cents, okay? I hope y'all listen. Hearts and kisses. Love y'all. Bye.